Hi there. For the past few years, I've put together a video each Thanksgiving of roasting a turkey in a cast iron pan, and I've been tweaking and modifying the recipe each year. This year, for Thanksgiving of 2020, I modified the recipe yet again, and the result was, if I may say so, the best turkey cooked in my kitchen so far. I was very proud of how this turkey came out, and I immediately went out to get another turkey and produced the video you're watching now. Now, when you look into cooking a turkey, you're going to hear at least 100 different tips for getting the perfect bird, including things like putting it in the oven feet first, or flipping it over, or roasting it upside down, or spatchcocking the turkey, or a whole bunch of other things. In fact, all of these tips are correct, and they will give you a decent turkey. But for this video, we're not doing that, and this turkey is going to be simple and easy. For this turkey, we'll be following 3 important steps. Use a thermometer and cook by temperature. Relax, because it's almost impossible to screw up a turkey. And cook it in cast iron. I'll be talking about all 3 of these during this video, but right now I need to say something about step number 2. Turkey is very easy to cook, and it only seems scary because a whole bunch of people are telling you this is your Thanksgiving turkey and it's the most important meal of the year, and that's why there are all of these tips and tricks for cooking a turkey to make sure you get it right. In fact, a lot of the steps seen in this video aren't absolutely necessary to give you a turkey to be proud of, but I think they help to make it even better. So let's get started preparing a turkey, and you'll see it's actually very easy, and it's nothing to worry about. I like using a fast and easy brine made with buttermilk, or in this case, curdled milk. After all, if buttermilk is good enough for fried chicken, it's certainly good enough for a turkey. You don't even have to boil the brine in advance. Once the milk is thickened, we add rosemary, thyme, sage, and then kosher salt and ground pepper, and mix it together. This brine will flavor the meat underneath the skin. And our brine is ready to be used. And in we go. This is just a plastic container I purchased at a discount store. We add the brine to the bag and squeeze most of the air out of the bag. It's okay if the brine doesn't completely cover the turkey, though some folks brine their turkey upside down, especially so the breast is completely submerged in the brine. And we let the turkey soak for 24 hours. Now let's take a look at step 3, namely using a cast iron pan. Cast iron has made a big comeback in popularity over the past few years, and manufacturers are cashing in on this by making quite a few cast iron pieces big enough to cook a turkey. Lodge sells a 15-inch skillet that makes a perfect turkey roasting pan, and I've seen this on sale at places like TJ Maxx and Marshall's for $40. They even have a bigger 17-inch skillet that is not only the world's greatest turkey roasting pan, it's also the world's greatest pizza pan. In 2019, Lodge released a big 13-inch turkey skillet as part of their Wildlife series and a 14-inch skillet with their Blacklock series. They also reproduced their 19-inch fish fryer pan. Camp Chef also supplies big cast iron skillets to places like Bass Pro Shops and many sports outlets. And even at Walmart, there's an imitation of the Lodge 15-inch skillet on sale for less than $20. There's even no reason why you couldn't cook your turkey in a cast iron wok. Meanwhile, American manufacturers made quite a few giant-sized cast iron pans during the 20th century, and they can still be found today by treasure hunters and antique vendors, ranging from this number 14 size Griswold skillet to vintage number 14 size pans from Lodge and Birmingham Stove and Range. There have even been a few specimens found of this unknown number 16 size pan, which is believed to have been made during the early 20th century by an unknown foundry in the southern United States. For this turkey, we'll be using a number 14 sized 15-inch skillet from Birmingham Stove and Range. This is one of my favorite kitchen users, and I call it Stumpy. Especially since we're using a heavy cast iron pan, I like to double up the oven racks to have some extra precaution. We place the dry cast iron pan into the oven and heat the oven and the pan to 450 degrees. And while it's heating, we prepare a simple herb butter for the turkey by mixing together a little ground sage, rosemary, and thyme with a stick of softened butter. We remove the turkey from the brine, and this brine is good enough that we don't even have to wash off the turkey. Don't worry if there's a little residue from the brine. And we dry it off with paper towels. It doesn't have to be bone dry, just enough so it won't soak your hands. One trick to making your turkey look professional is to fold back the wings so they don't stick out and the ends won't burn. Prepare the turkey by pushing your fingers underneath the skin and moving around to separate most of the skin so there's a big air bubble underneath. Comes the bun part. We start smearing this lovely herb butter under the skin. Now we get our hands dirty and start smearing the butter all around underneath the skin. And since our hands are already greasy, we smear the rest of the butter all over the top of the turkey, including the legs and inside the cavity. And here is our secret weapon for cooking a turkey by using a probe thermometer.
Because you want it to go down this way. This way it's going to go, it's thinner up here, so you want it always, this is the thickest part. So, about here, this will be about good.
Okay. And now it's time to bring out Stumpy. Remember, this is a very hot cast iron pan.
Let's get that. Wow. This leg's not in.
Be careful. We tie the legs together, and into the oven it goes. We set the alarm for 140 degrees, and then we immediately turn the oven down to 275 degrees Fahrenheit. The reason why the alarm is so low is because we're not finished cooking at that point. At this point, I should point out the most important step being used here for cooking this turkey, and that is to cook by temperature rather than by time. Brining the turkey is optional, and you can roast a turkey without it, but brining definitely improves it. You don't even have to cook it in cast iron, but again, this really helps. And I think you'll roast it better and faster with cast iron. But you absolutely must cook the turkey until it reaches the right temperature, and the time it takes to do this is different nearly every single time. My oven is not the same as your oven, and just because this video says the turkey is done in 4 hours, that doesn't mean it'll be done in your oven in the same amount of time. The only way to take the guesswork out of this and be sure the turkey is done and not overcooked is to use a thermometer and cook by temperature rather than by time. Trust me on this one. Once the oven reaches 140 degrees, we turn the temperature up to 425 in order to give the turkey a good crisp brown skin. After nearly 4 hours, this turkey is done. This turkey is so massive that the temperature will rise a few degrees while it's resting. That's why we set the alarm so low. Now we cover the turkey with foil and let it rest for at least an hour, which gives us plenty of time to make the gravy. And as you can see, there's a lot of liquid in the pan, but we only need about half a cup of the pan liquid here to make gravy. We scrape the pan with a whisk to remove all of those pan bits. Then we add half a cup of flour and whisk it vigorously to mix it in. We add chicken broth or even water to the pan, a little at a time, and keep on stirring until the gravy is ready.
I think
That looks like gravy, if you ask me.
it's kind of. I think it's kind of thick still.
Okay,
We'll
then.
check. Hold on, we'll check it with the spoon.
Too thick?
No, it actually is pretty good.
Well, in that case, we have gravy.
Yeah. Ta-da!
Ta-da! Thank you once again.
You're welcome. Oh my god, so good.
And the gravy is ready, and now at last it's time to serve our roast turkey. Because we cook by temperature, this turkey is moist and there is no worry at all about it being too dry. The skin just slides off the breast meat. Top it off with some of the gravy and enjoy your roast turkey made in a cast iron skillet. This turkey had everything I could have hoped for. Crisp skin, juicy breast meat, dark meat that wasn't tough and chewy, and a beautiful look that made this turkey one that I was proud to serve on Thanksgiving. Next year, I may tweak this recipe yet again, but for now, I'm proud to present this video to you as a simple guide to roasting a turkey in a cast iron pan. I hope it helps encourage you to give this a try because there's really only one crucial step that you shouldn't miss, and that's to cook your turkey by temperature rather than by time. As long as you do this, you can use any number of tricks, and you can be sure you'll have one of the best turkeys ever served in your kitchen at Thanksgiving or any other time of year. Thank you for watching.